Alongside Brent Hubbs, I'm Austin Price for the 2-minute drill on Tuesday. Brent, got to listen to Tim Banks and Jerry Mack and a couple of different players, but we'll start with Tim Banks. Felt like a lot of groups were solid. There were some busts last week, but overall pleased. They gave up 6 points and feels like they go into a game against Pittsburgh where they have room to improve and feels like they can build upon it.
Yeah, a solid start, I think, would be the best way to say it. That, they didn't have a ton of communication issues. A few, he said there more than people would know, the average fan would know, but saw some things that he liked at all three levels of his defense. Said he would continue to rotate some of those linebackers. They want to play as many bodies as they can, but he also knows what they're getting in Pittsburgh. He's certainly gone against them. He knows the physicality of Pittsburgh, veteran team that will try to really attack Tennessee across the middle, I think, and that's something that Tennessee is working on and prepping for. But I think, again, solid start, nowhere near where they need to be, but solid start with their effort and intensity.
Really didn't say that he would for sure play, Solon Page and Aaron Beasley every third series like he did against Bowling Green, but did say multiple times, want to play as many as we can.
Well, and I think that's probably factors into the defensive line where they played 11 guys. I don't think they're going to play a bunch of guys in the secondary. I don't think they're going to be in a regular rotation back there with those guys. You're playing a different type of game. This is a much more of a toss-up game and a game that you need to win at home. So you're going to ride with ultimately what ends up being your best 11, 12 guys. I think the rotation on the front will continue. In the back half of the defense, we'll see how they elect to play that.
Jerry Mack likes his 1-2 punch and went ahead and said that they're a three-team, a three-headed monster with Jalen Wright, who he did have a talk with after the game about being more patient, because he did say the Jalen Wright we saw Saturday or last Thursday, totally different than the guy they saw in fall camp.
Yeah, and I think that's a product of being a freshman.
And not going into the last minute of the third quarter.
Right, he sat around the whole game waiting to get in and wanted to make the most of his opportunity when he got out there. I think he likes the way that group kind of plays off each other. Neither one of those guys, Jabari Small and Ty Evans, was afraid to tap out if they were tired to bring in fresh legs. As he said, nobody was being selfish there. I thought interesting, he said pass protection's got to ramp up, particularly this week. That's a Pitt team that had 5 sacks a week ago, 46 sacks I think it was last year in 10 games or 11 games, which is a crazy number. Pass protection's got to be better than what it was in week 1. And he's expected more out of them in the open field. The ability to make guys miss. Felt like they left yards out there, was blocked up pretty well. They didn't do their job as a position group, making guy miss in open space, something that'll be harder to do against the Pitt defense.
Yeah, I heard from Jabari Small. He did mention that he had a talk with Jalen right after the game saying, hey, I was where you were a year ago. Don't get your head down because you didn't get in the game right away. You never know when you may be called upon. And then Cedric Tillman, I think he feels like he can continue to be a bigger part of this offense going forward, a guy that Joe Milton has a lot of trust in.
Yeah, he does. A guy who's shown the ability to get open. Joe Milton missed him twice on the deep ball. Runs good routes, got some physicality. I thought it was interesting. He was quick to defend Jalen Hyatt, saying, hey, that's not Jalen Hyatt. He's not going to drop the ball on a regular basis. We have trust in him. But I think Cedric Tillman's kind of ascending to the front from a leadership standpoint in that group and is trying to take some control there. It's not a knock on Javonte Payton or Velus Jones or anybody else, but seems like the old hat Cedric is a guy who's kind of taking some control in that room, and I think he's got more confidence than ever in his game with where he's at right now.
He's Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price for the 2-minute drill.